Peace. I am your brother Emir Ali Shabazz Allah. Number 9. Number 2. Who is the color man? Color man is a Caucasian man. White man, a Yakub, grabbed the devil. Skunk of the planet Earth. And you have number 9. First, let's get with that. Let's get with breaking down that degree. Now I'm gonna repeat myself. You had number 2, who is the colored man? Colored man is a Caucasian man. White man, a Yakub, grabbed the devil, the skunk of the planet Earth. That is when you're dealing with him and his wisdom and technology was given him by his father. His father was a black man, a scientist by the name of Yakub. Now, if we get into it, see, during the entire history, back in ancient times when it was just only black people on the planet, the knowledge of God was only known to a couple people who was in control of masses of people. And the masses of people was ruled by them. And then, during the advancement of black men, the scientists decided, or the people that sort of actually was called divine intelligence, a group of people of divine intelligence of black people, that's Allah. So dealing with all of that science, they came and they wanted to make everybody know that the black man is God and know themselves to be the God of the entire universe. Now, a few of these leaders at the time who possessed this knowledge was opposed to that plan, and they were rebellious against divine truth and knowledge. They felt that their power, authority, and influence over other people would be threatened because the masses of people who knew would know the same thing as they would, or they would be as wise as they were. So they planned a plan. And then Allah planned a plan. And Allah is the best of planners. And these unrighteous leaders became what's called as Satan. The chief Satans. Nowadays you got Satan in the east and you got Satan in the west. One's crying in the name of Allah, and the other fool is crying in the name of they're saying in the name of Christ. But what both fools don't understand is they both talking about a mystery God, a spook God that do not even exist. This is what they're dealing with. But back in the day, when you had the origin of Satan's, they did not want this to happen. So they took Allah's plan. That was their plan, was to use Allah's plan against him. But what they don't understand and what they lack understanding is that Allah allowed them to have their plan, and by allowing your enemies who want to go against the advancement. But what's wrong with everybody having knowledge of self, that the black man is God of the entire universe? Who's the son of man, the supreme being, the black man of Asia? People of divine intelligence. People of divine intelligence have what is known as created or original minds. And people who are rebellious against that divine truth and knowledge are shut off from their original minds and shut off from divine intelligence. So then they no longer have any original ideas. So they have to depend on people of divine intelligence for all of their thoughts, all of their ideas, everything they have to depend on. So that's what Allah, or the group of black men of divine intelligence, scientists, now number 12 major and 12 minor. They allowed Satan to have a piece of this information. Then he took this piece, and by him taking it means that he has to depend on Allah. He has to depend on the righteous for all the ideas, because he rebelled against it. So he pushed his own self out of the root of civilization, which is where the wisdom and knowledge of the original man first started. They've drifted away from that and and now they have to depend on for all their ideas. They try to oppose you, so they have to get your idea first. So Allah let them have that idea, just to show and prove that Allah is the God, always has been, and always will be. He's all righteous and all wise. They can make a devil He could teach them how to rule his people for 6,000 years and then destroy the devil one day without falling victim to the devil civilization. But anyways, they plan and they are thus dependent on Allah. So as it goes, they was grafted by scientists by the name of Yaqub from Black Maine. This is true. All white people was that idea of rebellion against truth. So it's actually in their very nature. And also them being a producer of nothing, it's in their very nature. They have to steal everything and get it from what we gave to them. And we allowed them to have it. Now when you're dealing with this one, this is rebellion against divine truth and knowledge. Who is the colored man? Caucasian man, white man, or Yaqub grabbed the devil. He's a devil. He's cannot be trusted. His very nature shows him as such. And you have number 9. What is the birth record of said nation of Islam? Answer: Islam has no birth record. Has no beginning, no ending. This is to show you that what they was made to do was, oh yeah, and the whole reason they did it, and the whole reason they went forth with their idea was they hoped that if they could mix up with Allah's truth, that they can make it so that they could teach contrary to what the righteous people teach, and make truth seem as falsehood and make falsehood seem as truth. This is in the very nature of white man, and as well as this was the idea that their fathers put forth, which was black people. Black people are the fathers of everything. That's we is the first. Now you got number 9. What is the birth record of said nation of Islam? Islam has no birth record. There's no beginning, no ending. And these people, what they tried to do is they had, since they was rebellious, they was going to make truth seem like falsehood, and falsehood seem like truth. And they thought that they could make the original man. Because what is 2 plus 9? You have 11. That's 1 and 1. That goes all the way back to who is the original man. The original man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, the father of civilization and God of the universe. Everything comes back to us. They thought they could keep us deaf, dumb, and blind and make it so hard that Allah would just give up and leave things as they were. A few people having the knowledge of God and the masses being blind to it. But what they don't understand is Allah knew their plans. Allah gave you his plan so that you could depend on him. So now you is not independent. If you want to do, you say, well, I want to do what I want. Why can't people do what I want? Well, you can do what you please. And Allah gonna do what he please. And what you do, and what pleases you doesn't please him, and you're not able to make war with him. So you might try to do this, but our sign is freedom, justice, and equality. Anything against that is against the advancement of the human family of the planet Earth, which is the original black man. He is the human family. Now, dealing with all of this, human family of the planet Earth, which is the original man. This is our sign. So by only a couple people having it, you was going against it. Allah has to always renew everything and make things better. Stagnation is death. Being a producer of nothing is death. Everybody can operate. If everybody has the qualifications of a manager, you're going to have a mighty fine business to run. If you got plenty of employees. You got plenty of workers for you, and each worker can take, and you see to it that none of the workers are irreplaceable, and that each worker has the same qualifications as the head of the entire job, the foreman, the overseer. You're gonna have a job that's gonna be successful overnight. So as it is with the black man. So freedom, justice, and equality was always the plan for everybody. And remember, at this time, now we have brown, black, yellow, and red races, but at this time there was not even a race. We are actually the original. Now, when you're dealing with all of these things, we have the what's called freedom, justice, and equality. There's no end to that, and there's no actual flag. This is actually the greatest and only flag known. All others won't be recognized or accepted, and all others will be destroyed. Now, this all goes back to who is the original man, which is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of planet Earth, father, civilization, and God of the universe. Now, with such things, is have that showing up twice. Then who is the colored man? Going to that again. He is the Caucasian man. White man, or Yakub's grabbed the devil, skunk of the planet Earth. He's a terrible man. And people must recognize and understand that he was made from the original man, but he's so far removed from the original, he's no longer of it. You got 4 colors of the human family of the planet Earth, which is brown, black, yellow, and red. They are children of the black. The white man is the 5th color. He's so far removed, his nature is different. When you get into those colors, they had in mind to make a rebellion against truth and try to master and rule over the black man. So you find that the yellow race, the first race they had was brown, which they called Japanese. Then you got Chinese, which is the closest you can get to white. Yellow Chinese. Actually, the thing about them is the brown race of people, when they was first made by Yakub, they inhabited some of the Pacific Islands and the mainlands of Asia. Then when he got the yellow race, since he had in his mind and his idea to work against black, that's why you find most of the yellow race of people, the Chinese. The only difference between them and white is they're a little bit more bolder. But it's easier for them to get along with white people, and easily for white people to accept the yellow Chinese. They can get closer together, and the yellow Chinese offers a little bit of rebellion against black, and it's a little bit is able to become friends quicker with a white person because it was in the idea. So naturally they might be a little bit against black, but they're not devil. This can be said to be true. Now we gonna get to this next portion. We have number 2. Why did Musa have a hard time to civilize the devil 2000 BC? Answer: because he was a savage. Savage means a person that has lost the knowledge of himself and who is living a beast life. Musa was a half original man and a prophet. 2000 BC means before Christ, and the Asiatic world is in the 11,000 years. Civilized means to teach the knowledge and wisdom of the human family of the planet Earth. Listen to that. Why did Musa have a hard time to civilize the devil? Nowadays, since Musa, he let him out the caves. Musa brought 1 book of each kind of the sciences of civilization to civilize the devil. The devil, having 1 book that we gave to him, while we possessing 59,999, he has 1 of those books. And that book was able to teach him to be wise. Musa let him out the caves and civilized him again. That stopped it from ever being able to happen again. The devil must be removed completely. Just as if you find in ancient history, there's a law where where every Muslim had to kill 4 devils, and the same must be done today. They all must be killed because he's a snake, and if he be left alive, he's gonna stain someone else. So he must be killed. They all must be removed from the earth. You can't exile white people to no place. They are too wise. Because when Musa brought them that one book taught them, and now was able to make them wise enough for them to know. Now they know every square inch of the planet Earth. So now if you try to exile white people to one place, they're gonna escape. If you try to put them in, you can't put them in the cave. If you put him in the cave, he'll jump over the cave and fly into the air. And he'll go up into the air. He'll leave the surface of the water, leave the surface of the earth, and go into the air now. He's too much of a scientific devil. He must be removed. And we cannot grab him back, because that would take too long. He's giving us too much hell for us to actually let him to be around. Now, you have, he's a devil. And all prophets was sent over to them. All prophets was actually sent as band-aids, and none of them worked. So we've given them all the chances, and they've never once accepted or was able to be civilized. They always rebelled against them because this is actually in their nature, which we knew. But now this is actually shown and proven in their entire history. So don't believe that you can get along with white people in peace. And you can't even blame them for that. They wasn't their own maker. We have to understand, whenever trouble approaches us or a bad situation, we have to approach it with understanding and not anger. We have to know that, well, it all comes from you. It all comes from me. him into the very dirt of the planet, but the white man does come from us, so we cannot blame him for it. We'll say he was not his own maker. And then what will we say to him then? Now, with that, you can't put him back into Europe. He's gonna get out. You can't exile him. And if you would put him in the cage, you'd have to tie him up. And if you're not careful, he might bite his way out. So it can't be done. He must be removed off of every square inch of the planet Earth. Now, a general civilization is the name of the word. So in order to generally civilize everybody, we have to remove that which is unclean. You gotta burn him off the entire planet. Now you have number 9. Why does Muhammad make the devil study from 35 to 50 years before he can call himself a Muslim son with the greatest and only flag in the universe? And why must he have a sword at the upper part of the greatest or holy universe flag of Islam? Answer: so that he could clean himself up. A Muslim does not love the devil regardless of how long he studies. After he has devoted 35 or 50 years trying to learn and do like the original man, he could come and do trading among us, and we would not kill him as quick as we would the other devils. That is, who have not undergone this study. After he's gone through with his labor from 35 to 50 years, we permit him to wear a holy flag, which is the sun, moon, and star, and he must have a sword at the upper part. The sword is the emblem of justice and was used by the original man. Muhammad's time vessel was placed at the top of the flag so the devil can always see it, so that he'll keep in mind that at any time if he reveals the secrets, his head would be taken out by the sword. We give him this chance so he could clean himself up and come among us. The holy flag of Islam is the greatest and only flag known. The universe is everything. Sun, moon, and stars, they are planets. Planets are something grown and made from the beginning, and holy is something that has not been diluted, mixed, or tampered with in any form. Now with this right here, the white man, who is the devil, it shows you right here. You say, oh, well, he's this, he's that. The highest degree a white person can get is 33 degrees in masonry and become a Mason or a Muslim son and become what's called a Muslim Shriner. So now, he after 35 or 50 years, he by nature is no Muslim. And if you're not a Muslim, you have no divine light nor truth. If you're not even a Muslim, and even when you is a Muslim, you are still just but a child. You is just but a child that has to be controlled due to your limited knowledge. Due to all of our limited knowledge. Then you can advance from that. But first, once you're a Muslim, you have no divine light, knowledge, truth, or understanding unless you're a Muslim. And even then, that's just you're still a child that has to be controlled due to your limited knowledge. He's not even a Muslim. He has to study 35 or 50 years before he can wear our flag, which is the sun, moon, and star. That's freedom, justice, and equality. That's what it means. And there's a sword. I'll get to that meaning, which the lesson already tells us is justice. But he has to study 35 or 50 years before he can even call him, before we'll make mock of him by allowing himself to call himself a Muslim son. I say that again. He got to study 35 or 50 years before we'll make mock of him by letting him call his own self a Muslim son. And when you're a Muslim son, you're a mental caveman, stumbling in utter darkness. You ain't even become a Muslim. You have to be reborn, just like Jesus said to Nicodemus. And Nicodemus said, how can I be reborn? I'm too old. And he did not know he was signed. You have to be grafted right back into the original. We're not going to waste time on you. Now, why did he got to study 35 or 50 years to wear the flag of the lapel pin? What's on the lapel pin? You know, them 35 or 50 years, you got to remember what's on the lapel pin is freedom, justice, and equality. See, every government on the entire earth has laid all the governments of Africa, Asia, North America, Europe, and in the entire world has laid their foundation on the African slave trade. This is the seal that's capped their minds. And now they power-hungry freaks jumping, trying to get one thing to the other. Now when we're dealing with this, and I hope, and I'm not boasting. I hope you don't think I'm speak. You say, who gives you the authority? Freedom, justice, equality gives me the authority. The supreme wisdom lessons gives me the authority. I'm not boasting, I'm just telling you. I'm not making fun of nobody. I'm saying the straight up truth. And I'm not come here to argue with nobody. I'm not gonna waste my time, and I'm not going to do that. But that freedom, everybody, this white race of devils, which is the product and the offspring of Satan. And now you got two Satans, which are white now. You got Chief Satan in the West, that's Pope of Rome. You got Chief Satan in the East, who's in the guise of a Muslim, who took over and corrupted the teachings from the warrior. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, Muhammad of 1400 years ago, who killed devils with the sword, with the original man, because they could not accept Islam. Now, he is, after he died, he put a damp on it. He did a great work. But the actual, what they call the imams, or the 12 guides, they used to make mock of him for trying to teach for being such a stupid man. He couldn't even read or write. They used to make mock of him for trying to teach white people, because they were his own people, and he was a white man himself. So he came to this reality and died of a mental collapse and a heart failure. They grieved him very much that he couldn't teach his people, because they could not accept Islam, because they was devils. They was white people. He was white people. So this grieved him much and caused him much sorrow, so he died of a mental collapse at an early age. Now these, on their flag is the sun, moon, and star, which is freedom, justice, and equality. This white race is crying for peace, calling for peace, but preparing for war. They crying for peace, but they don't cry for justice. It scares them to death that they might have to go out and treat people how they would like to be treated, and that they might get in return some of the treatment that all of the treatment that they've given to others. This fears them, so they don't call for justice. Now, someone who starts freedom, justice, and equality, he'll be allowed to live for 35 or 50 years, because it is equality. He will be free to himself, but he'll not be free to come amongst us. He'll be amongst himself, and this will be a separation. So when we kill him, a few of them are going to be left. If they've done it, Allah don't leave one good deed unpunished, and that's actual facts. All right. And forgive me if you think that I'm trying to brag and boast. If I have nothing of my own, only what the messenger of Allah gave me, and he only has given to him. God in person, the most honorable Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praises and due forever. And I'm gonna make one thing straight. I bear witness that Almighty God Allah came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praises and due forever, and that his only last messenger is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And besides them two, there is none. Now, with the freedom, justice, and equality, if he studies from 35 years, he might get an extra 35 or maybe 50 years if he studies it, and that'll be his reward. Now, a lapel to wear on his coat. He can only wear it for 1 day a year, and this is the 7th, and 1 day equals 1,000 years, and this is in the last day, so he'll have a couple of years in that last day. But he also will be given justice, because he's a devil, and him and his people must be killed, so he's going to be killed too. We just won't kill him as quick. We're going to kill the other devils, and by the time we get done removing all of them, then he's going to be killed. That's why you got two justices. You got the star of justice, and then you have the sword. Because once he reveals the secret that the black man is God and white man is the devil, we going to run him from among us, and he'll no longer be. He'll no longer be allowed to live. He's going to get justice his own self. And that sword is going to come down and cap his mind. Going to cap him. Just like how the peoples, even the Africans, they've sold out their brothers. So that's the seal that has capped their mind. The entire world, Asians, in Asia, in Europe, that's capped all of their minds. Just like that sword was going to cap the devil. So he might be allowed to live a couple more years. He's going to be given justice to, and his just due. is to be killed. Now that's some of it. And we don't love a devil regardless to our understandings. And we can't ourselves mix, dilute, or tamper with them in the form. Because the universe is different, the freedom, justice, and equality. Now remember, number 11. Have you not learned that your word shall be bond regardless to whom or what? Answer, yes, my word is bond, and bond is life, and I'll give my life before my word shall fail. That's a mighty oath that we taking, saying that we can't dilute, mix, tamper with the truth and in the form, knowingly or unknowingly. Mistakes shall not exist among the laborers in Islam at any time. That's a high thing. I got shortcomings. I made mistakes and I've forgotten. But weakness has no excuse, whether known or unknown. We must lose no time in study and learn all about ourselves. We can't call to the teacher and say that there was no one to teach us for 379 years. She knows that already, and she's trying to forget it. So we must study and learn as quick as we can. Now, number 29. Tell us why he was successful in all his undertakings. Answer, because the people who were his followers obeyed Yaqub's laws regardless of what they told him to do. They did it. If not, they paid with their lives for every law they broke. Yaqub did not build prison houses to imprison his people. When one fell victim of the law, the penalty was death and was enforced on every victim. You want to be successful in all your undertakings? How will we be successful in our undertakings today? What's the beginning of the lesson say? Most beautifully say. Tell us why he was, number 29, tell us why he was successful in all his undertakings. Answer, because the people who were his followers obeyed Yaqub's laws regardless of what they told him to do. They did it. If not, they paid what they... No. Just stop it right there. The people who were his followers obeyed Yaqub's laws regardless of what they told him to do. They did it. We would be successful and we could put ourselves and our entire nation in heaven overnight and on top of the world once the morning rises. We'll be in heaven at night, overnight, and once the sun, and by the time the sun rises, which is in early morning, which is after 12 midnight to 5 in the morning, by the time the sun rises, after that darkness is extinguished, first overnight we're going to be in heaven, and then by the time the sun rises, we're going to be on top of the world. 1 foot on land, 1 foot in the water. Cut its shoulders into the gravitation all across America and burn it up. It is a fine, very mighty fine book. You can call it the Holy Quran. It is this. This is what's going to happen. 1 foot in the land, 1 foot in the water. Shortage, cutting gravitation, ignite all the oxygen atoms and molecules, and confine it to America to burn for 370 years, and to take 610 years to cool off, or 390 years to burn. Just as Yaqub and his people were so successful, Yaqub was not there. Yaqub died. He went home. When the messenger left us and went home, there's no excuse for us not to take charge of the post and our temple property of you. To fulfill this general order, one must know general orders 2 through 12. We must see our instructor for further explanations. Who is the instructor? The instructor is supreme wisdom. The instructor is the divine intelligence that's inside of you, which is something that you're going to tell the world. And no one's going to say to you, but you're going to tell the world. It's when you study these teachers with sincerity, honesty, the humbleness, and you study them without trying to add on, not trying to take away, not trying to dilute, be passive, not try to straddle the fence to try to hide our own dirty religions. We all got shortcomings, I do. But then we got to ask ourselves, well, if I got shortcomings, do my good outweigh my shortcomings? And what am I doing to striving to better myself every day? We got 24 principles of Islam, and that's one of them. Now, Now, tell us why he was successful in all his undertakings. Answer: because the people who were his followers obeyed Yaqub's laws. Regardless of what they told him to do, they did. And we obeyed the messenger of Allah. Not no student. Not no I am that I am. Not no, oh brother, I'm your divine reminder. And I'm not speaking about anybody in specific. I'm talking about the world, even to myself. If I ever catch myself going into the streets, acting like I'm some sort of best knower, Allah is the best knower. And when you come into this, you become we who is Allah. It's not no damn, oh, this is the, this minister takes the position of the messenger. No damn minister has that damn authority. Allah is the only one to have that authority, and the last one he chose was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So that being the last one he chose, and he said plainly, clearly, multiple occasions, after me, I am the last. After me, there is none. We have to carry into practice now. Yaqub didn't live 6,000 years. And they still followed and was successful in doing what? Born in a physical manifestation from they what? Wisdom and trick knowledge. Now we got supreme wisdom. That whole manifestation, who is the colored man? Colored man is Caucasian man. White man, the Yaqub's grabbed the devil, the skunk of the planet Earth. Now, he came from that wisdom and tricknology. But guess what? He was made to rule over and make weakness rule strength and put us to sleep. The number one God tribe of Shabazz, until one that was more wise and powerful than Yaqub was produced. And that one has came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praises is due forever. And now in America, we're everything the white man has made us, which he made us nothing in the course of 400 years. Now, just in the beginning, as there was nothing, and one atom coming out of the triple blackness of space, that one gotten behind us. That one is Master Farad Muhammad. And he generated us. He didn't come before us, in front of us. He got behind us and gave us his backing and turned us from nothing into a fraction of something for an entire nation to be built upon. And now, since that wisdom, that manifestation of the trick knowledge, was able to make devil. Now we got supreme wisdom, so we can destroy devil, and we can make righteousness and make our wisdom, supreme wisdom, born from nothing. That's the science. It all goes back to who is the original man. The original man is Asiatic black man, maker, owner, queen of the planet Earth, father, civilization, and God of the universe. Now, what else do we have? And I'm gonna say, I'm gonna repeat this until it's something. Number 29. Tell us why he was successful in all his undertakings. Answer: because the people who were his followers obeyed Yaqub's laws regardless of what they told them to do. They did it. Now, number 11. Have you not learned that your words shall be bond regardless of what? Whatever they told them to do, they did it. They obeyed Yaqub's laws. Have you not learned that your words shall be bond regardless of what? Answer: yes, my words is bond, and bond is life, and I give my life, and no words shall fail. That's what we have to take in order to follow and carry into practice the word of God given to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad from his mouth. Not from a spook, not from a feeling, not from nothing, but the universal Most High God himself. Yaqub did not build prison houses to imprison his people. If not, they pay with their lives for every law they broke. My word is bond, and bond is life, and I'll give my life before my word shall fail. Yaqub did not build prison houses to imprison his people. When one fell victim of the law, the penalty was death, and was enforced on every victim. Number 29. They received the gold.